Welcome back to my YouTube channel with the Rasa the Dancer. And yes, I am in the bedroom, but the lighting here is absolutely awesome. And that is why the video is happening in this space right here. And this time I'm gonna give you 5 tips of how to hear the music better. Now, this is gonna be particularly for people who dance partner dance, and especially salsa or bachata, and they need to find particular rhythms in order to maintain the partner dance. It's slightly different if you're dancing on your own and you kind of can do more or less whatever you feel like, but when you're dancing with another human being, you both have to dance at the same rhythm, and a lot of the people find it very difficult to find the rhythm that they're supposed to dance to when they're dancing salsa or bachata. So hopefully these 5 tips I'm gonna somehow help you to get a little bit better. Stay tuned. My first point is that the most important thing, not to give up. Musicality is a strange thing. Some people immediately naturally hear the beats that they need to hear while dancing a partner dance. Some people naturally hear it without even understanding what they're hearing, but they just sit in beat all the time. For some people, it's not natural, but with time, they get better. For some people, sometimes it seems like it might never happen. But I do not believe in never. I believe that never is when you die. That makes sense? If you are not dead yet, that means there is that opportunity to still find out whether you can get any better at that particular thing. So the tip number 1 is not to give up. Do whatever it takes and just keep on going. Here's the visitor, the cat that reads. Never give up. That's my tip number 1. Just keep going. Sometimes it's not a natural thing. It doesn't happen quickly. You just have to push through it. And whenever the moment is that it's supposed to happen, that's when it is. But don't give up. Tip number 2, you have to continuously listen non-stop to the music that you are planning to dance to. So if you're dancing salsa, you want to have salsa blasting everywhere. In your house, in your car, in your kitchen. You might be interrupted by my pussycat. You might see now my pussycat somewhere walking around. My God, isn't that a great idea to have a cat in the video disturbing everything? Back to business. If you're in the kitchen, if you're in the car, you have to continuously listen to that particular music. What happens is you're training your ear, okay? It's like a muscle. If you're going to a gym, you won't be able to suddenly pick up the heaviest weights, right? But then you train, and with time, you can pick up more and more and more. It's the same with music. When you start dancing salsa, for example, it has a little bit of a jazzy feel. So it's not natural to hear it immediately. But once you listen it to a little bit more, your ear gets a little bit more accustomed, and then it's not going to be just a noise anymore. You will suddenly realize what's actually happening in the song, ideally. So my tip number 2 for you, continuously listen to that particular genre of music, subconsciously or really focused on it, but just do not stop listening to that music, and it should get better. So my tip number 1 was not to give up no matter what. My tip number 2 was to listen continuously to the music, right? The music that you're planning to dance to. My tip number 3 is a little bit more dramatic. Imagine you've been listening to the music non-stop and it just doesn't seem to be getting better and you can't find the rhythms that you're looking for. Then the tip number 3, try to think about the song the same as memorizing lines. So if you would be going acting, you will have your lines to memorize. Try and memorize a song. Pick one song to start with, a song that you kind of like, and then if it's a Spanish song, maybe get a translation Or if you don't want to worry about the words and investing time in memorizing the words, try to memorize an instrument. Every song has an obvious instrument that you're going to hear straight away. Whatever the instrument is, try to memorize. For example, if the trumpet will go do 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 do, that's what you need to memorize. So when that song is playing, you could be doing do 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 do. When you memorize a song, at least one instrument, and then you memorize another instrument in the song, and maybe you make an effort and memorize the words even though you don't understand the language, what happens is you're programming your brain to acknowledge the ups and downs, what's happening in the song. Also, whether the sentence is short or long, or the word is short or long. Now, what does that do to your body when you're dancing? If it's a long word and you would be saying da-da, then when you're dancing da-da, you cannot not extend the movement. If the word will be da, 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 your body won't be able to do da, da, da. Yes, it's unnatural. You immediately will go da, da, da. Does that make sense? So you have to, of course, it's a job, but it's something that can help you. You sit, you pick a song, start whether with the words or with the obvious instrument. You memorize the length, the beat, where it stops, whatever. You can verbalize it. Your body will be able to express it. It might not necessarily be able to help you find the exact beat you're looking for, but boy, will it help you to understand music in general and be able to express it yourself to it. Tip number 4 is for all of you who already done all the tips that I've just talked about. So tip number 4 is to go to a musicality class. If you spend all the time trying to listening to the music, if you spend all this time trying to memorize the songs, and it still can't seem to work for you, a good thing is to find a good musicality class. There's not a lot going on consistent basis, but there usually are a lot of workshops. So just have a look, ask around your friends or your teachers that you know when is a good musicality workshop, and what happens, they break down instruments. I find it really difficult, but for some people who really struggle with music, it helps. You break down individually every single instrument, you are able to hear them in different parts, and they tell which number is associated with which instrument and what time. And it kind of helps in the beginning. It slows down the process of dancing because you have to think, but it does help to find the beats that you're looking for. So that could be your tip number 4, to actually find a musicality class and learn how to separate the instruments and learn which instrument represents what number. My final tip for you, while you're doing everything you can to improve your musicality, you still are dancing, right? So my final tip is not to feel like a complete loser. Is to try and look around. You know, there's usually some people that you really admire that dancing, or maybe some teachers are around dancing, or just trust your partner and try to adapt your timing accordingly. So if you're doing something, you're dancing, you're going crazy, and you know, you seem to be fighting with your partner, it could be your timing, right? And if you know that you really struggle with your timing and teachers told you before that your timing is wrong, don't fight it. Just maybe try to adapt to your partner then and dance on her timing, or look the other guy next to you what he's doing and which timing he's dancing to. The problem with this is that it might not be the right thing because they might be dancing off time as well. But it does help sometimes while you're in a process of getting better at timing. So if you really know you're struggling with it, look around. You're special. And try to adapt to other people, just for a little bit, until you get better. I hope these tips were very useful to you, because I know musicality is something we all struggle with, and finding the rhythms is not for everybody natural thing. So I hope these tips will help you and guide you at least to a direction where you can help yourself. But just remember, it takes time, so be patient and just work on all the things that you can work on. And you will always have my support. If you enjoy this video, you know what to do. subscribe to my YouTube channel, of course, ring a bell, look at another video, and if you care, leave a comment. Pasha, say goodbye. She's more curious what's happening in the other room. I'll see you in another video. Bye.